Hello everyone, welcome back to Storytime. I'm Miss Isabelle. I'm here at the Graves Library, and autumn is really in full swing now. We're pretty much halfway through October, or even a little more, and I picked two books about leaves and trees because the leaves are finally really changing and it looks beautiful. So I have one kind of short one and one kind of long one for today, so I think I'm gonna just jump into the short one, which is called Leaves by David Ezra Stein. As you can see, our friend is a bear today, and he's very interested in what's going on with the leaves and the season changing. So let's jump right in. Leaves by David Ezra Stein. And it says on the flap here, the young bear has never seen leaves fall off a tree before. Should he try to put them back? Guess we'll see what happens. And our publisher for this one is G.P. Putnam's Sons. Leaves, David Ezra Stein. It was his first year. That's all it says, but I think we're talking about him. Everything was going well. And you can see our friend the bear running through flowers, playing in blueberry bushes and eating blueberries, just like we do in Maine. So that looks like spring and summer. Everything was going well until the first leaf fell. Are you okay? He wondered. Picked up the leaf, isn't really sure what's going on. Then a red one fell, a yellow one fell. All over his island, the leaves were falling. And this page has no words, but here's a beautiful picture of the island in fall. There's a lot to look at there. He tried to catch them and put them back on, but it was not the same. Here he is catching some of the leaves, and you can see here he sort of skewered them back on the branches, but it's not the same. He sat beneath a tree and watched them go all around. You can see all the swirling leaves and the bare branches. But he grew sleepy, and so, you can see him yawning there, getting sleepy. And so, he found a hole and filled it with leaves. There he is, with his head in a hole, checking it out. Big pile of leaves to fill it with. Filled it with leaves and went to sleep, just as the wind began to blow. And we're out here, but we know that the bear is cozy in his hole, safe from the wind. There's a little V of geese, probably flying south. Winter came, and everything gets covered in snow. He slept snug in the ground while the snow piled thick. And I love the sky in these pictures. They're very beautiful. There's a little rabbit, and there's some cardinals, just like we see in the winter. In the spring, with wide eyes, he woke. You can see all the snow is melting, and there he is, poking his head out, ready for spring. He slept through the winter. There's a bug in my face. He felt the sun and saw the little buds on the bare arms of the trees. There's a blue flower in these pictures, probably a crocus or something. And what do those green buds mean? Feeling the sun. Little green buds. Tiny leaves began to unfold. "Welcome," he cried. Very excited for spring, as we all are in spring. And he thought the leaves welcomed him. And there's our friend the bear on his island, surveying his kingdom. And that's the end of Leaves. You can see on the back, there's our friend the bear. And it says, "A little bear discovers the joy of the seasons." And a positive review. And that one's pretty short, but I think it's really fun, and the pictures are very beautiful. So that's a fun one. And we'll jump right into our next one, which is similar but different, as they tend to be. And this one is called Kate, Who Tamed the Wind. And it's not about a bear, it's about a person. And this one is by Liz Garton Scanlon and Lee White. You can also see a cat and a hat. Our publisher for this one is Schwartz and Wade Books. Kate, Who Tamed the Wind. Once there was a man living all alone in a creaky house on the tip-top of a steep hill. And it's a very tall hill. You can see the houses down here, and you can see his house all the way up there. The man lived all alone in the creaky house on the tip-top of a steep hill where a soft wind blew. The man lived all alone in the creaky house where the curtains swung and the chimes spun as a soft wind blew. And blew. You can see the swirls representing the wind. You can see it's blowing away his laundry that he's trying to hang out. It's very windy. It blew and blew. The wind blew until the shutters banged in the creaky house on the tip-top of the steep hill. The wind blew, the shutters banged, and the boards bent. And now it's so windy that our man here is starting to look a little concerned. There's a lot to see in this picture. The wind blew, the shutters banged, the boards bent, the table tipped, and the tea spilled. The tea spilled and the bread broke on the tippy table in the creaky house at the tip-top of the steep hill, and still the wind blew. You can see there's a big teacup right up front here, spilling its tea. And I like the drawing here that the tea inside the tea bag is just scribbles. You can also see his hat is blown away. It's a strong wind. The wind blew and off the birds flew. And there goes the hat. The birds flew, and the dust did too. And the man cried, "What to do?" And his house looks far away in the distance compared to this hat flying away. What to do? The wind whipped his words from the tip-top of the steep hill to the itty-bitty town at the bottom, where a little girl named Kate heard the cry and felt it too. And you can see way down here, there's Kate, and she caught his hat. Looks like she's making hopscotch. She wondered what on earth to do. Kate could not stop the wind, she knew, but there she is with her chalk, coming up with some ideas. And it says, wind, new trees. And there's a drawing of the man as she sees him. She could wheel a load of new trees to the tip-top of the dusty hill in her wagon. And we know it's a tall hill, so that's a long way to pull a wagon. There's some goats in a field. And this page has no words, but you can see that Kate has brought her wagon to the man on the top of the hill, and she's brought his hat back. And a cat seems to be there too. And there's a goat. Still pretty windy. There, Kate dug deep holes and watered muddy mounds till the trees grew. As the trees grew, the wind blew. You can see here they're planting a sapling. And there they're tying the tree to stakes so it'll grow straight up and won't fall down in the wind. And over here, the tree is so tall there's birds living in it. And if you look closely, you can see Kate looks a little different in every one. And it looks like the man's beard might be growing longer too, so we know time is passing. The trees grew, the wind blew, and the time flew. The time flew as the trees grew and grew. You can see them getting bigger and bigger and changing their leaves. This one has a tire swing on it. That's fun. The trees grew, and Kate did too. The trees grew till the leaves fluttered and the shutters stilled and the boards bounced back. And you can see here at the house, Kate's looking much taller, and the man's looking a little older with his gray beard. I don't think the cat's there. There's the cat. The leaves fluttered, the shutters stilled, the boards bounced back, and the dust died down. The dust died down, the tea steeped, and the birds peeped. And there's our friend the cat in the doorway. The birds peeped, and the old man poured sweet tea and said, "For you, near the quiet house on the tip-top of the green hill." And they're having a picnic. You can see lots of birds flying around. I think there might be some leaves flying too. Where a bright breeze blew. It's kind of hard to say. But here's one last look at the house on the hill, and now it's got some good tree cover to protect it from the wind. And there's our little goats. That's the end of the story. There's a little bit of information at the back that I read through and thought was pretty interesting, so I might share some of it with you. And it says more about marvelous trees. Trees are an important part of Earth's ecosystem. They play a starring role in keeping our planet beautiful, healthy, and productive. Most people know that trees provide shade on hot days, fruit for breakfast, and home to all sorts of birds and wildlife. They're good for swinging and climbing, too. But did you know trees also work invisibly while they're growing your peaches and holding your hammock? Trees act like lungs. They clean the air by absorbing or inhaling carbon dioxide gas created by people, animals, and oceans, and exhaling the oxygen we need to survive. They also work underground, filtering groundwater through their roots and preventing flooding and erosion by holding soil in place. And you can see that's how they're protecting the land here. They're keeping it from the dust. Remember the dust all flying away? That's soil that can't be used anymore because it got so dry. And they're protecting the house from all that strong wind. So this one's kind of a longer story for story time. And obviously I can't, show you every single thing because I just have a camera on a laptop here and I don't know exactly what you want to see. So I do want to, remind everyone that you can certainly come to the library and check out either of these books or any of the books from Storytime. I put the Storytime books of the week on the mantle behind my desk, so you'll know if they're in or if they've been checked out. Thank you so much for joining me for another virtual story time, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.